Hello and welcome back to Arsenal Domination. I don't really talk a lot about transfer rumours. We've seen a lot of transfer rumours. Arsenal being linked with every striker that moves under the sun. Every winger will be shortly linked, I'm sure. And the answer on those things is that we just don't know. But what we can be fairly certain of is that Arsenal have two players I'm going to discuss today fairly high up on their list. And they are Martin Zubimendi, the Spanish midfielder, of course, and Juan Garcia, who is currently keeping goal for Espanyol. Our goalkeeper coach is very, very keen on him to come in to be the new permanent number two to David Raya, and presumably with a view to him being the number one. The reason I'm talking about these two players are because we've seen interest from Real and Atletico Madrid in recent days for Martin Zubimendi and for Juan Garcia. And what I want to do is reflect on what Arsenal can do to get these players if they are indeed the sort of players they want, but also why it's going to be a difficult decision for the player. So if I take Martin Zubimendi, his options, if you can, let's just assume that press reports are 100% accurate here. He's got a decision to make between Real Madrid and Arsenal here. And the reason I think this is a really tricky decision for him is he decided to stay for various reasons at Real Sociedad last summer, partly out of loyalty to the club, but also out of a desire to remain in Spain. He likes Spain. He likes living in Spain. And of course, from that option, Real Madrid becomes a really, really, safe and option for him. He can remain in his home country where he feels comfortable. He's going to the biggest club in the world. Let's be honest about that. They've been the best club consistently for 50, 60 years, if not longer. But he will be going to compete in one of the best midfields in the world. There is no guarantee he starts over the likes of Camavinga, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Valverde, who has played at right back occasionally this season. Big competition in there. Does he guarantee himself a starting spot there? And does that sort of help him replace Rodri in the Spanish side long term, which presumably will be his ambition? If he comes to Arsenal, you would imagine he starts alongside Declan Rice. He becomes a guaranteed starter, and he gets a chance for a new experience in the Premier League at a club that is, in my view, on the verge of going places. And is well set to win trophies in the next few years. So I think they're the sort of things he's going to have to weigh up. Arsenal, I think, will and have, various journalists saying that they have done so, made a really strong pitch to him about what it looks like to be an Arsenal player. They will, of course, reward him handsomely with wages, as will Real Madrid. But I think that's the sort of choices that he is going to have to make. And I think there's only so much both clubs can do to persuade him. I think it's going to come down to which one of those sort of two scenarios is his preference. And I think it's going to be very similar with Juan Garcia. Atletico Madrid, sorry, they have Jan Oblak in goal. We have David Raya in goal. Both very established number ones. But Oblak is that little bit closer to, retirement. I mean, it's not like he's about to retire sort of immediately. But there's a quicker pathway to being the number one. They very much see him as the backup now and as a future number one, but would be prepared to let him go on loan again to keep his playing experience. For Arsenal, I think we'd be bringing him in immediately as a number two. He would be a clear number two. And while he might be the long-term successor to Raya, that's going to be a little while. And he'd have to sort of accept a role more similar to Ortega at Manchester City or Kelleher, and I think Kelleher probably the better example just from an age profile, who's been number two to Alisson at Liverpool for some time, where you'd have to accept being the number two, playing in the cup competitions for quite some time before hopefully, in his point of view, taking over as a number one long term. But you're talking 4 or 5 years of being the number two. And does he want that? Or does he want the quicker route to being a number one goalkeeper in, let's be honest, another really, really strong side at Atletico Madrid? So they're going to be really, really interesting choice. And I think the key thing here is that Arsenal need to make sure they have backup players in place, ready to come in if they can't land those two targets. Because I don't think this is, well, no transfer is ever within any club's control, but this one particularly not in Arsenal's control because they have very good alternative options, and it is going to come down to personal choice for the player. I talked about it before. Not every player is motivated by the same things. Some are motivated by money, some are motivated by family, some are motivated by a new project, some are motivated by where they want to play football. some motivated by the manager or the tactical decision. There are all these things that players are going to have to weigh up in decisions, and I think there aren't two better examples around now than those two currently. And I think it will be really interesting to see how that unfolds as we head towards the summer. Anyway, let me know what you think on that. Are they the right players for Arsenal? Do you think Arsenal will be able to make the right pitch for them? In the comments below. Always interested to read and hear those. And I will be back soon with more Arsenal news as it comes. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.